Hello, welcome to Clark Technologies. Today we will see what is DevOps. And actually, we are going to start Azure DevOps series of learning. So before that, before going to Azure DevOps, so let's discuss few things. What is DevOps? And what is the software development life cycle, and why this DevOps come into picture in our projects implementation, and also let's understand the little background about DevOps. Then let's get started the actual Azure DevOps series. Okay. So before actually going into this DevOps concept, let's understand to implement any project, any product or any software product from scratch, what are the different phases will take place. Okay. So if you are already working IT professional, you might have already know all these STLC and agile process and all. If you are a student, then you can just try to understand what are the different phases involved in a particular software development or a particular product development. Okay, let's say if we need to build a product, or else you need to build a software. Okay, you had a requirement from client from US, like they asked you to build a website. Website is nothing but a product for them, so they asked you to build a website for them in order to incorporate their e-commerce business. Okay, so our project or software product is nothing but website. So as a developers, we need to build that website from scratch. Okay, so what you have to do once any client asks you to build a website, what is the first step you are going to do? You can just you cannot directly build that website by using your assumptions and by using your own knowledge, like as per your interest or as per your understanding, right? No, the website is actually the requirement of the client. So client need to be provide you the information how the website should looks like to them, what they are actually expecting from that website from you. So that is nothing but requirements. So whenever you start any project or any product development or any development activity, you have to first gather the requirement. Like say in our example, your client asks you to build a website. So you need to ask like, what is the purpose of that website? Is it an educational website or an e-commerce website or a venture real estate related website, like that? So what is that requirements? So you need to gather all the major information to start building of that website, because the background images or the text which we are going to select should be matched to the actual goal of that website, right? If you are going to build the e-commerce website, nothing but Amazon and Flipkart, if you are placing any babies videos or flowers or some other non-related images in that website, that is not relevant to that, right? So you need to first capture the requirements of that client. So okay, we will take up this project, we will build a website for you. So first let me know what are your requirements. So how you are going to visit your website once we have delivered your project. So what are the different menus you want to do in your project? So what is the purpose of your website? And like that all the requirements you need to gather. That is the very first step in any software development like life cycle. SDLC is nothing but software development life cycle. So to build any project or product from scratch, the first step would be to gather the requirements. Then okay, once you got all the requirements, like what are the different menus they need, what are the different pages they have, or what are the different images they would like to include them. So okay, you are good at requirements. Your next step would be design. Nothing but you got all the requirements, so now you need to design your product. This is not the actual development, it is just a design phase, remember. Okay, it means like, okay, I got these four images and four menus. Okay, I will build this website like in this way. Like you and your architect or your architect from onshore or your manager, you set up a call or set up a meeting to finalize the design of your project. Then once you have done with the design, then your development will team will start developing that actual code to build that website, right? So you designed a website like here home page should look like this, and contact page should look like this. Likewise, you will design the project first, then you need to do the actual development, actual code. You need to write it on development stage. Then once you are done with the development, you need to test that website, right? Before delivering that to client, you need to test end-to-end testing, like is this website is working fine or not, all the pages are visible or not, all the images are getting loaded, like end-to-end testing you need to do. Then if you are okay and testing in QA stage, then the deployment, that is nothing but you are delivering this product, this website to your client in their production missions. You are done with the deployment. Once you are done with the deployment, then client will actually use that website, and he actually check that everything in that website, and he will get to know everything is fine as per his requirements or not. Then the review will start. Then there the ends, the project will ends. Okay, so every project development will start with these six phases are important phases of any of the product development phase, development perspective. Okay, so requirements, design, development, testing, deployment, and review. This is nothing but all the different phases. Okay, good. Now, earlier days is or now also few projects are actually following this waterfall model. So how okay, how to develop this waterfall model? You might have heard about waterfall model and agile model if you have already working on IT. So if you are new to IT environment or if you are a student, just get basic understand of what is waterfall model. So in your waterfall model, what happened is like each and every phase will be depending on his their previous stage. Okay, let's go to our previous slide one. So once you need to gather the requirement, then only you can start the design. Once you are completing the design, then only you need to do the development. Once you are done with the development, then only they need to that is available for testing. Once the testing is done, then only it will be available for deployment. So likewise, these are the different phases, the same phases. Maybe names will change sometimes. So that's why I have captured here different names. Okay, so once planning is done, then analysis, then design, then implementation, then maintenance. So one by one, after one stage, we need to follow. That is nothing but waterfall model. What it means, like if the project deadline is for 1 year, first 2 months will be for planning, next 2 months will be for design, and next 3 months will be for implementation, and last 1 month or 2 months for will be for maintenance. So what will happen if any issues happened in between, or any requirements is getting changed in between your developers? But if the requirements is different from that client task, what will happen? So all this 1 year time will gone without the actual requirements fulfillment, right? So once the project is going to production, then we need to actually client will come and client will say like, no, I don't want this page in my website, I need to change this home page like in with another images, or else I need to update this contact page, something. So it means like one only you deliver your project to the client only once at the end of the complete phases. This is nothing but waterfall model. That too, after one phase, you need to start the next phase. You cannot start design first. You cannot start implementation first. So all the stages are dependent one by one. So and nowadays also this is nothing but a traditional model or waterfall model of software development life cycle. It is okay if we have only limited client or limited users, or it's a very small project. If it is a big project like a 2 years or 3 years project, this model will not fit into that requirement. Okay, so what are the drawbacks of this waterfall model? See, let's say, as we discussed, if this project duration is 1 year, only after that 1 year you are interacting with client, you will get the feedback from that client if he is satisfied with your product or not. If he is not satisfied with the product, then he will give some changes, and he will need some enhancements. Enhancements is nothing but you need to improve something, your web page. You need to improve with some additional features like that. So that will happen at the end of the project. So after entire product delivery after 1 year, then if any issues comes, they will take it as an, I mean, our development team will take it as an enhancement, then we need to modify that product. That will that will be actually a waste of time for both the developers as well as for clients, right? And one more drawback is like, let's say if this 1 year project, middle of the project some team members are left, left from this organization to another organization as usual we follow, right? So what happened if some more new requirement comes into picture at the end of the project, if the same developer who built that specific feature or development was not there at this time, the entire old team need to be give KT or knowledge transfer or provide the details to that new member. First, the new member need to understand the project, understand the code, then only he can able to work on that code, right? Again, this everything is waste of time, right? So to actually nowadays also few projects, as I said, like few projects are following this waterfall model, but to fulfill all these drawbacks, agile process come into picture, right? Agile process is nothing but in agile process also, like any product development, it has also all the SDLC life cycle phases, all the project development phases are there. But what is the difference between this waterfall model and this agile model is nothing but in waterfall model the complete 1 year they will be delivered at only once, but in agile model the single product development or single project development will be actually divided into different iterations, loops or sprints all are same. Okay, so let's say our project is 1 year project, we will divided that into 2 months, 3 months, 3 months, or 2 months, 2 months. Okay, let's say we have divided that into 3 months. So how many quarters will be there? So 4 quarters in 1 year. So first quarter they will treat as a one release. Second quarter they will means nothing but 3 months of duration. Second 3 months of duration they will treat that as an release. So what I mean to say, like for every 3 months they are actually releasing their product features to client. In that every release also, like for example, let's say one release is having 3 months. In that 3 months, every month or every 2 weeks they have treated it as a sprint. So usually in agile process, each and every sprint should have been a cycle of 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks they will release a new features or new enhancement of that project. So what happened? So let's say for this sprint, this sprint one is having 3 weeks. So first week for development, second week for testing and everything, third week they are actually releasing this project to client. They will give a demo to client. What happened? Only 2 weeks duration, let's say they have built only home page in our website. So they will show that home page as a demo to client. If client need any enhancement or any feedback he will right away he will say that in the sprint demo. Then the users and the scrum master or the developers will make a note of those enhancements and changes. Okay, they will make it as a changes. So they will list out all the changes. They will apply those changes into the next sprint. That is the next 2 weeks of sprint. In that sprint 2 they will have new features as well. Along with that, the enhancement of old features is also they will work on this sprint, in this 2 weeks sprint. Again after this second sprint they will deliver a demo to client. So now in this case, client what will check? Client will actually check the feedback provided in that sprint one. So whether the home page is getting enhanced or not as per his new requirements. Okay, that is fine. So let's say in sprint 2 we are building contact us page in website. So contact page. So now we are delivering contact page to as a demo to we will show in demo the contact page in for the client. So client will check all the details and client will understand the demo of the contact page. If he need any changes, he will suggest as in sprint one. Otherwise, he will say okay, I'm good for this contact page. So he no need any changes. So we have built two different pages in two different sprints. Then fine. Then in sprint 3 we will take another web page. We will build it and we will merge that code into our actual website. So at the end of these 3 sprints, what we have achieved, we have built home page of a website and a contact page, and one more web page we have built in our website. So each and every sprint, after every 3 weeks or every 2 weeks, we are actually interacting with the client. We are taking the suggestions or feedback from client. We are implementing that changes right away in our upcoming next sprint. Okay, so that is what do you feel? Is this the waterfall is the feasible way or agile is the feasible way to deliver a high quality product? Obviously, agile, right? Because every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, we are actually interacting with the client. We will we will get the actual feedback, and we will work on the enhancements. And also every 2 weeks we are delivering a high quality product. So at the end of our release, we will deliver a high quality product to the client, which will be fully satisfied by the client. What happened if any of the team member left the organization in between the project delivery? No issues, right? So because in this sprint we have two development team. In this sprint we have one more developer added. In this sprint maybe one developer left, another developer added. No problem, because all the features are different from one sprint to another sprint. Only few are actually having the enhancements. So that is also no issues. Instead of providing the complete product or project demo to the new member, you can just explain the sprint details to him, so that he can pull it in, that a new developer will take charge from next sprint, right? Now let's discuss what is DevOps. Yeah, as this video is already extending 17 minutes, I'll do one thing. I'll split this video into two parts. So I'll discuss what is DevOps and what is Azure DevOps in our next video. Okay, thank you. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, share, like our Class Technologies.